We got some traders room. The biggest
James
one
Robinson.
is James
Robinson.
Robinson.
Big one. He had an ankle injury. He did not return. This is a guy that some people, they got him with a decent pick maybe in their draft and have been basically riding this guy as RB1 or RB2 all year. Exactly. He doesn't come back for the chip. That's brutal.
That would be absolutely brutal. It remains to be seen whether it's because they were down by so much. Like, why put this guy back in? That could have been the mindset. At least he got you a nice, 12. It wasn't a great performance, but it wasn't one of those ones where he got hurt and then completely bailed on your team. He still got into the end zone at least once. So tough break for James Robinson. Hopefully he'll be in there for your ship because he is a bona fide RB1. But this has to be concerning for you moving forward. Stefon Diggs.
Exits week 15 early with a foot injury. That's tough.
And feet, as we always say, feet, toes, hamstrings, not what you like to see. This dude
this guy's been a top 5 receiver. Let's be real.
Top 2, 3 at this point. Yeah, like over Metcalf, more consistent. They throw it so much, even while they're up. So, this guy's been even steadier. He had 10 or more catches in 3 straight games. It doesn't get better than Stefon Diggs this year. I was off on him in the preseason. He's really blown it away. You got to imagine with the team headed towards the playoffs, though, don't be surprised if they take a nice little break with him, let him rest it up, get it fully healthy. I wouldn't be shocked if this is the last we've seen Stefon Diggs. Now, that's pure speculation. There's been nothing that came out from the team or anything of that nature that says he's going to be out. He did come back to the sidelines.
Yeah, but you're probably right, though.
Why risk it, though? They have the conference locked up. They're pretty much locked into a top spot here. I guess they could contend for a bye. I don't see it happening, especially against the Pats this week. It's like, why? They don't need Diggs to beat our shitty ass. So I ultimately think Diggs is going to rest for your finals, but we'll find out. Maybe it just isn't that serious. We'll see.
CEH, hip leg, will likely miss the rest of the regular season, which will at least end the constant, what's wrong with this guy talk that we get every week. Now we know what's wrong with him. His hip/leg.
Yeah. Did you see the injury, dude? I don't know if you saw it, but he got bent in a weird way.
I did see it. I hate watching stuff like that. I hate when they replay.
It was painful. To be honest, the fact that they're gearing up to have him for the playoffs is a surprise because he couldn't put any weight on it when he was walking off. It looked worse than it ended up being. It sounds like there was the X-rays, the MRIs all came back negative. So no crazy tears, no crazy breaks. Should be back for the playoffs. Just if you own him, you obviously will not have him the rest of the season. And Le'Veon Bell could end up being a week 16.
This guy ends up winning a bunch of people titles, which he totally could at this point.
And he gets the Falcons, so it's not without question. I mean, he had 62 yards in a score, had a 14-yard catch, a decent day for Le'Veon Bell. Of course, he scores a touchdown right when CEH gets knocked out. For all the owners just sitting there waiting all year for CEH to score a touchdown. No, Bell just goes and takes it. But something obviously, hope he's okay as a rookie. That's not how you want to see his season end. I think he'll be back for the playoffs. If you're in the finals, though, you will not have CEH.
Raheem Mostert exits the 49ers game early, ankle injury. He did not return. We already touched on that a little bit about Wilson, who, a decent play if Mostert doesn't come back.
Absolutely, 16 carries. Yeah, 16 carries, almost all of them. I think one touch to Tevin Coleman after Raheem Mostert sat down. Is there anybody who's left games more frequently mid-game than Raheem Mostert this year?
No, that's a great question. I do think that he's left games early more. We should look at that season to season because I feel like every year there's a guy that you can say that about, and some of them are escaping me. I feel like Keenan Allen might have been the guy.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely done that in his career. But yeah. I really think this is honestly the 5th time Mostert has started a game and not finished a game, left mid-game. And he didn't get your usual 70-yard touchdown run to go with it. So it actually kicked to the nuts there. So sucks for Mostert owners. I wouldn't expect to see him. I honestly, why are they going to force him out here next week? I think we're going to get a Jeff Wilson workhorse role game next week.
Derek Carr suffered a significant groin injury. Oh, God. Just saying the word significant groin injury just makes me cringe. He faces a 2-week recovery timeline. Mariota looked pretty good.
He really did, and we'll cover Mariota in a second when we get to
weird.
But this offense looked better. Again, 1 game sample size against the Chargers defense that's not very good. but with the rushing ability, with the Mariota looks like he like knows he's playing for his last shot. He seems to have like it happens. You know, some quarterbacks just need a year to like get their shit together, need a new change of surroundings, because he looked every bit as talented as the guy that was the original, number 2 pick that draft. I think this guy could have a late season, late career renaissance if this game was any indication, and especially because he brings the Konami upside. We'll talk more about his stats in a little bit. These were the other injuries. Michael Gallup, DJ Dallas, Jalen Reagor, Traquan Smith all exited early. Hopefully you're not relying on any of those guys. I just wanted to put them in the trainer's room to make sure you were aware of who got hurt. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.